Welcome back to BBB Sharing. I'm Evie, Director of Ignite, sparked by BBB. We are here in the Ignite podcast studio once again with our lovely Nicole.
Hello.
Hello, Nicole. And then our guest today is Luke from Cool Hand Heating and Air Conditioning. Did I get it right? Cool Hand Air Conditioning?
Yep,
Perfect.
Cool Hand Custom Heating and Air Conditioning.
Awesome.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
We did talk about how it was a whole sentence long, but it's a sentence that's worth saying.
It's a tongue twister.
Definitely, but it's a good one because, and actually, I think it has the opposite effect that people might think that they would forget it, but I think they would remember it more so because they want to try to remember it so much. But going into that, tell us about your company. How did you get started? Why did you go into it?
So I started in the heating and air conditioning industry back in 2006 when I graduated high school. I thought I wanted to be a car mechanic. I did all the ASE tests to become certified to be a car mechanic, and saw a couple of ads in the paper for HVAC, and somehow ended up down this rabbit hole here 20 years later. And it's been a great trade, great career. Really rewarding. If you put the work out, it's a ton of work, but if you put the work out, it's limitless, the opportunities that the trade presents to you. It's what are you willing to do to take advantage of the opportunities, so many different facets, from controls to electrical to piping, ductwork, just various offshoots from within the trade itself.
And what's crazy is a lot of people don't even know how many different, they're just like, oh, you fix my heat, you fix my air conditioning. That's about the sum of it. But going into that, first off, happy 20-year anniversary. That's wonderful.
Thank you so much.
But tell us a little bit more about when people come to you, what exactly are they looking for and what do you specialize in?
So they're looking typically for either air conditioning or heating services, of course. Their AC, is not working. They on the hottest day of the year.
Right.
Everything works till it doesn't. And then once they, discover they have an issue, they're looking for a cooling person, to come and service their equipment. So it's a great way to be able to help people. You get the instant gratification of being able to fix something, being able to that instant result, to where something was mechanically broken before, and then you're able to fix it and help the person. So it's at least for myself, it's a great fit. I enjoy helping people, and able to do that with air conditioning and heating.
What do you suggest to people like to help avoid? I know like things like mistakes happen, right? Like you can't, it's inevitable that something is just going to happen one day because it's some freak accident and you did all the things you were supposed to do, but it still just happens on the hottest day of the year.
That's life.
But what are some things that people can do with your help to kind of prevent that from happening?
So seriously, preventative maintenance, the best thing you can do as a homeowner or a business owner is literally changing your air filters once a month, making sure that the air filters are clean. That helps to protect the equipment. It helps the environment, for which you're in, air quality wise, but really to help protect that machine, to protect yourself from high cost issues from neglect. If you're able to just change your filter once a month.
I should have asked you to bring a dirty filter. I know that sounds nasty. But here's
I think that I think I know where you're going, and I think I like it.
Some people don't actually understand, like what you're saying is very serious, but a lot of people don't understand how serious it is. And the only reason why I know is because my dad used to nag me all the time about changing my filters in my house. And I was like, I don't get it. Why do I have to change it? And then the second I would go in to change it, I'd see how absolutely filthy it was. And I would say, I'm breathing that. Like I'm actually breathing that air.
And didn't you say that you had an animal? So
Yeah, I had a dog that shit like crazy.
yeah. So how often, if someone has either an animal or multiple animals, how often should they change their filter? Should it still be that once a month or should it be more or less? Like, what does that look like?
It should still be that once a month, especially due to pets, any allergies. It just helps to facilitate a clean environment, within your property. Um, like you said, some of the filters you see, people don't, realize, until you pull it out, and they'll swear up and down that they just changed it.
That would be this
You're
one.
probably like funny, I know what I'm thinking of.
You didn't, but it's okay. We got you a new one right here, and we'll get you all fixed up. A lot of people are good with it, but you also have some just life's busy. So I try to tell people, if you have the first of the month, if you have obligations you got to do, payments or so forth for cars, mortgage, etc., just to try to add that, the first, each month.
Oh, definitely.
Any kind of simple.
Things you need to do at the beginning of the month.
Yeah, anything simple, KISS, keep it simple, stupid, just, at the core, instead of, overcomplicating stuff, you want to just, keep it as simple as possible. And keeping that air filter clean, will, take care of, most issues, that can definitely be prevented that didn't need to happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's probably like the smallest little detail that can cause so much chaos in a house that people just don't pay attention to. Or even in a building like here, if they didn't change the filters in the area, I bet you could tell after a while.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the equipment actually relies on airflow going across. So in air conditioning mode, if there's no air going across the inside coil, it's going to freeze up and you'll see water down if you've ever seen water, underneath your inside unit. That happens.
So what are some things that you're seeing in your industry now specifically that's changing that people should know about?
So technology has evolved so much just in 20 years. They have inverter driven systems which modulate the frequency to save on energy, to where it's able to ramp down or ramp up as need increases or the need decreases based on what's going on, and helps to save energy. And I started at the very beginning. You had all single stage, just plain Jane straight AC, and then it's had two-stage systems for quite a while. And then it went from the two-stage systems again to help save energy, because you can run it in first stage if it is a two-stage system 70% of the time, and you're literally saving, you're running it in low stage for 70% of the time, instead of running a full tilt. So you're saving energy there. And then it evolved from the two-stage systems to the inverter technology, Mitsubishi, a lot of stuff is inverter driven, and Mitsubishi's been the one kind of pioneering that the last 20 years really, and they've dialed it in to where it's really reliable, and the energy use is, I mean, just it will amaze you how less energy your bills will have with them.
So when you say inverter driven, what do you mean by that?
So a compressor is literally a motor. Is all a compressor is. It changes. You have frequency hertz. It will change the frequency with the power coming in as alternating current. Everything here in the U.S. is alternating current, 208, 230 volt. And what it does is it takes the alternating current, converts it to direct current, which is DC. So now we're direct current instead of AC, which is alternating current. So we take the alternating current there at the property. When it goes into the actual air conditioning machine, it inverts it to a DC voltage, and those little pulses of the hertz, little pulses will either ramp up or ramp down. So like it's, instead of it running 100%, it's able to run even 30%. So it's a huge cost saving, option that's available for people now.
That's
So-
awesome. You know, what's really cool about like this job, and it might seem a little random, but I'm watching you explain this to me and I'm like genuinely curious. That's why I'm asking. But also I can see you envisioning it in front of you as you're talking about it. And that's one of the fascinating things about what we do here and people being able to watch and listen. They can feel the passion for what businesses like yourself do. And that is what makes them feel comfortable about you coming to their home or their workplace. So what are some things like, let's say someone's buying a new house, and they're looking to either, look at the old one and replace it or get a completely new system. What's some advice you would give to somebody that's a new home buyer?
So if you're in the market to buy a home, before you buy a home, typically they have home inspectors. Definitely have the home inspector, take a look at the heating and air conditioning, portion in the house. It is a significant investment, so you definitely want to, make sure that the home inspector gets that right. Because no one wants to be, no one likes to be surprised. So definitely if you're thinking in the home market of buying, getting in with a home, you definitely want to make sure all the mechanical systems in a house and the AC and heat's no different. You really want that checked and put on the report. That way, if there is any issues or, towards the end of its lifespan, that can kind of get taken care of, as y'all are closing.
So as Evie said, so I always want to call her Evelyn.
It's
My niece's name.
well, yeah, that's your niece. But it's funny because my name is not even American at all. So Evie is a nickname for my full name. I won't bore you guys with the details, but it's funny because she keeps wanting to say Evelyn. And
Where's it from?
so my family's from Greece.
Okay,
So tell them your real name.
My real name is Evanthea.
that's a beautiful name.
It is
you.
beautiful. Try to say it.
Yeah. I walked right into it. She set me right up and.
Right, so
Gotcha.
Evie's a little bit easier, but Evie is
It's
also
a beautiful
short.
name.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Short nickname for Evelyn or Evangeline.
and it keeps
or-
it simple for simple people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You did say the kiss thing. I am one of the ending of that S, so I want to call her Evelyn. So as we were speaking at the beginning, I did have a question before we started about what sets you aside from other HVAC systems, but I kind of feel like you had answered it. If you have a different answer that and correct me if I'm wrong, but at the beginning you stated you genuinely want to help people. Is there anything else that sets you aside from other HVAC systems?
Yeah, so going back to the theme of helping people it's really simple at the end of the day. Do what you say you're gonna do when you say you're gonna do it.
That's a big one.
That's step number one. And then from there, it's having the knowledge and experience of what's going on with the heating and air conditioning system, taking notes, pictures, videos, documenting everything, bringing it to the property owner's attention, and taking that time to explain what's going on, why it's something that they might want to, think about trying to be proactive versus reactive, and explaining helps people to realize because all they see other than that is just a price tag, and price is very important, of course.
And it's like the things they get focused on, like they're so focused on that they're not really dealing with like all these other factors that could be happening.
It is, the most important thing, like I said, be where you say you're going to be when you say you're going to be there, do what you say, and that honest, the honest opinion and being able to explain it to the person, instead of it just being, cost XYZ, we need to do XYZ because of this, helps the, kind of, you're kind of an artist in a way to where you're painting a picture of what's going on, but keeping it very simple again. And then, depending on what needs to be done, if it's an install, you're an artist as well, because that's your canvas, you're a craftsman, act like it, have pride in your work. People are paying good money, for a turnkey product, someone fully licensed and insured. That's the first thing that you want to do is make sure whoever you're dealing with is licensed and insured. And with the internet, you can go DPOR, look up someone's, license, for the company, make sure they're licensed. Of course, you want to make sure they're insured. There's just so many companies out there. You really want to do your due diligence because then, again, back to price, it is a significant investment. And, what's right for one person might not be right for the other person because some people are only in the home a few years. Some are going to be there like that's their lifelong home. Some are, tenant landlord deal.
Right.
It just depends what's right for that person. But, coming up with a plan, for that person and, tailored to each individual just kind of depends. But it all starts with, providing great service and being able, to articulate what you're trying to say.
I think a great start for people is, obviously besides listening to BBB Sharing, is to go to bbb.org because they can find businesses like you. Not only are you accredited, which thank you, by the way, because you're providing a fee in which goes into the data that we provide for free for consumers to have access to. You're agreeing to the values that we uphold, which is transparency, which you talked about, honesty, respect, and trust, which again, you talked about. So you're very clearly upholding those values, which again, thank you. And then you're providing a visibility for yourself, if I can get it out, for people to be able to see your business and what you do and what you can provide for them in a way that Google doesn't really do, because let's be honest, sometimes those reviews are fake or they're from one extreme to the other to the extent that they're not actually vetted. And whereas we vet them. So any review that you would get, we vet those reviews and we make sure that they was an actual customer review. And not some person that just Googled an HVAC company real quick and was like, I had a horrible experience. But with this company, oh, I don't know. So that's what we do. So we make sure that all those T's are crossed and all those I's are dotted, and we make sure that, companies like yourself are making sure that they're doing business in a community respectfully and with people that are also respecting you, because let's be honest, it's a two-way street. It's a marketplace. It's an exchange, a transaction. So we want to make sure that that's happening. And Luke, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us. How can people get in contact with you?
So they can get in contact with us. Our website is www.coolhandhvac.com. Facebook as well, Cool Hand HVAC. We're also on Nextdoor. Again, same name, Cool Hand HVAC. And now on the Better Business Bureau, page as well. So that's, kind of where you can find us on the web. And our phone number for direct, through the, phone is 540-850-2885.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for the time. Thank you so much, ladies.
Yes, appreciate you coming in.
Y'all have a great one. Thank you so much.